minutes. For the record, my name is Elisha Ongoya. Allow me to start with a question raised by the leader of majority of this House on who is the clerk of the County Assembly of Isiolo. In answer to that question, Mr. Nyamodi answered, what happened to the clerk? So giving a simple and straightforward answer, who is the clerk? The simple and straightforward answer is to be found in the County Assembly's own documents, Volume 5, at page 8. The County Assembly has attached as part of its evidence a document signed by the clerk. That is Salad Boru Guracha. So that is the simple and straightforward answer to that question. Distinguished senators, every time you ask a question and people have to scatter around it for 5 minutes, a question that requires a name of a person, it is manifest evidence there is a problem with that team. Number 2, to the question raised by Senator Ojienda, directly to me, on the question of the affidavits, whether the County Assembly in fact sat, the following affidavits of the following deponents show that the County Assembly did not sit on 18th of June 2025, when this motion is said to have been introduced in the House, and on 26th of June 2025, when this motion is purported to have been approved. Number 1 is the affidavit of Salad Boru Guracha, the clerk. Senators, you will know the role of the clerk in the business of the House, and is a person likely to know whether the House sat or not in 2 respects. Number 1, when he is physically present, and number 2, as the custodian of the official records of the House. He says by reference to both records, either by physical presence or by reference to records of the House, where he's the sole custodian, the House didn't sit. Number 2 is Abdi Dima Jilo, the MCA for Kina Ward, a member of the County Assembly. By virtue of being a member of the County Assembly, he's a person who can know when the Assembly has sat or not. And number 3, the affidavit of Diba Abdirashid Ali, the leader of majority in the County Assembly of Isiolo. That is a member of the House Business Committee who is likely to know, number 1, whether this business was ever scheduled for that day or for those days for this House, and whether the House in fact sat and transacted that business. Each of these crucial witnesses bring before you evidence that the House did not sit on 18th of June 2025, when the Assembly did not sit on 18th of June 2025, when this motion is said to have been introduced, and on 26th of June 2025, when this motion is said to have been approved. Allow me to move to the next question by Senator Mungatana on whether the decision from Meru, my apologies, there's one more affidavit I overlooked, I'm drawn to it, my apologies for that. There's the affidavit of Shaban Mzungu, the Superintendent of Police. He was the person in charge of security at this important public installation, the County Assembly premises, which also houses the county governor. So it's the county government premises in Isiolo. He also confirms that there was no business transacted in the House on that day because of the circumstances to which he deponds to in his affidavit. The question raised by Senator Mungatana on whether there has been an attempt to appeal that decision and whether the decision still holds. Now, this is also another very simple and straightforward question, because an appeal is a particular act. And I expect the senior counsel, Mr. Nyamodi, to respond more directly to this question. I had him to answer what is the effect of this decision. Senator Mungatana, the simple and straightforward answer to this question is that not even a notice of appeal, forget about the appeal itself, has been lodged in respect of this decision. Not even a notice of appeal. So, not only has the County Assembly not appealed this decision, they have not even shown an intention to appeal, which is normally signaled by a notice of appeal. To the question raised by Senator Cherargei, my answer is as follows. This was not a conservatory order. This House has historically had issues with conservatory orders granted ex parte. The order we have here is an order granted after hearing both parties. In fact, when you look at the record of the ruling of the court narrates the order of events, the assembly lawyers were even given time to go to their clients and take instructions and come back and address themselves. So this was an order made after hearing both parties to the dispute, and this is what distinguishes this from the other conservatory orders that this House has had occasion to deal with in the past. Senator Wambua asks us another straightforward question. Is the motion we are dealing with in this House the same motion that the court dealt with in Meru? Senator Wambua, the simple and straightforward answer is this: yes, it is the same motion that the court declared null and void and of no effect. Senator Sigei asks an important question about validity of this motion. Senator Sigei, our answer is as follows. The deficiency of this motion is on multiple grounds, broadly two. One, there is an order of court declaring it null and void. And when it's declared null and void, it is not a valid motion. Number two, it is a piece of paper, as I told you earlier. It is a piece of paper because even for this House, this distinguished Senate, for a motion to be said to be a motion, it must go through the procedures known to the Constitution and the standing orders, be voted upon, and be a resultant motion. It cannot be proper, even for this House, for the Speaker and a few members to sit somewhere outside this House, craft material that look like Hansard, and say this is a motion. So it becomes invalid. And the video that has just been played and the submission of counsel prior to playing that video confirms this more than ever before. Counsel says that the Hansard was completely vandalized and therefore they could not produce a Hansard, which begs the question, the material they have presented for you purporting to be Hansards, where did they get them from? That is not a legitimate origin of a valid motion of a House. Senator Kavindu, you raised an important question. Is it right for the Senate to go against an order of court? Court orders generally involve two disputants, whether it is in a public interest matter like this, a matrimonial case, whatever case it is, it involves two disputants. It is never right for any person to disregard a court order with abandon. We are all consumers of legal judicial services one way or another. And on that day when we get a court order in our favor, we desire a country where that order means something. And therefore, that will be my answer to your question. To Senator Karen Nyamu, whether all the procedural steps were met, no. Procedural steps were not met. The motion was not tabled. The motion was not debated. The question was not put. There was no sitting of an assembly. And therefore, there could have been no resultant motion underpinning this, whatever has been brought before you. Allow me, in the interest of time, to then invite my learned colleague, Mr. Eric Teuri, to continue with the responses to the various questions. And thank you for your audience.